Merhaba merhaba Gabi Noctis'ten herkese merhaba arkadaşlar, nasılsınız? Ona da buna da bana da size de ama herkese merhaba. Görevlere devam ediyoruz. Mezuniyeti görmemiz için, mezuniyet töreni görmemiz için 34 level ve üzeri olmamız lazım. Yan görevlere devam ediyoruz. Hogwarts Legacy bitti ama görevler devam. Beğenin, yorumunu eksik etme diyorum. Beğenirsen daha fazla oyun canavarına ulaşma şansım var. Haydi bakalım diyorum. Bölüm başladı. Beğenini eksik etme. Evet dostlar. Tam gaz devam. Şimdi annemin sözü diye bir görev var. Neti, annesi Profesör Onay'ın neyin peşinde olduğumuzu öğrenmiş. Yani, olabileceğine inanıyor. Öğrenmiş olabileceğine inanıyor. Konuştukları sırada orada olursam annesinin ona karşı daha yumuşak davranacağını umuyor. Yani arkadaşımıza destek çıkacağız. Haydi bakalım o zaman. Gidelim. Evet. Şöyle yapalım hemen. Harita. Annemin sözü. O zaman şöyle yapıyoruz. Şurada bulunuyoruz. Yani sınıfına gittim. Hogsmeade.
So frustrating.
Hadi başlayalım.
You wanted to speak with me, Mother?
I had hoped to speak with you alone, Natsai.
Your message mentioned your concern about an unusual creature that was spotted in the woods near Hogsmeade. That could have been anything.
You know what it was, Natsai.
I am allowed to leave the castle. I am always careful, Mother.
Careful. Officer Singer disagrees. She sent me an owl telling me that you have been trying to collect evidence of some kind against dark wizards. She berated me for not keeping a closer eye on you. And she is right. I do not want you visiting Hogsmeade for the near future.
But Mother!
My little gazelle, you are well intentioned, but you must not meddle in the affairs of dangerous people.
If someone had meddled in Matabeleland, Father would still be with us.
I must get to class. Perhaps your friend can get you to listen to reason.
So frustrating. She never listens to me.
She called you her little gazelle. Is that a term of endearment where you're from?
It is specific to me.
Bu bana özel.
I am the unusual creature in Hogsmeade she mentioned. Self-transfiguration is not taught at Hogwarts, so I am gently discouraged from practicing it. However, I am an animagus, and it is in my gazelle form that I have been able to wander the highlands rather freely until now, much to my mother's chagrin. That is how I managed to spy on Rookwood and Harlow.
Bu inanılmaz. Nasıl bir his?
How does it feel to transform into an animal?
Well, the first time it can be a bit unnerving. I felt a kind of searing pain and a strong double heartbeat. But it gets easier the more you do it. I no longer feel any pain, and I must say, I find a sense of comfort in the double heartbeat. And I love being able to view the world from a different perspective.
İyiymiş.
Were you born an animagus, or did you learn to become one?
Animagi are not born. The process is quite elaborate. It involves holding a mandrake leaf in one's mouth for an entire month.
Bir adam
Then placing the leaf in a crystal phial so that it is imbued with moonlight. Then adding one of your own hairs. And that is just the beginning. Self-transfiguration is common among students at Wagadu, but Professor Weasley considers it much too dangerous to teach at Hogwarts.
Can you choose what form your animagus will take?
Oh no, a person's animagus form is determined by their personality. My mother is convinced that my form is a gazelle because I adapt well to any situation. I believe it is because I can sense danger and keep my wits about me.
Now the nickname makes sense. What an extraordinary ability to have.
It is. I love transforming, but Mother is less enthusiastic about it. She says that no creature, especially one as rare as a gazelle, should be bounding about where poaching has become so prevalent. She claims that she has foreseen tragedy befall me in my gazelle form. But she has used her sight to control me too many times. I no longer believe it.
She's concerned for your safety. It may be best for you to stay away from Hogsmeade for now.
That may be safe, but I do not believe that it would be best. Do you? You could have fled the moment you discovered that Rookwood, Harlow, and Randrock were after you, but you did not. I choose to act as you have. I must deal with Harlow, not hide from him. My mother cannot know where I am all the time. Thank you for being here during that rather awkward conversation.
Vallahi garip konuşma ama bilgilendirici oldu. Güzel. Hoşuma gitti.
Revelio.
Hemen şunu halledelim. Kaçak avcıların ev ziyareti. Haritaya gel. Gizli odalar. Hadi bak. Lay lay lay lay. Vallahi yapıyoruz da 34 level olmamız lazım. Şu mezuniyeti görelim.
Revelio.
Poppy ile görüşeyim de ben. Şurada da bir mevzum var. Onu da halledeyim.
Oh, good, you're safe.
There you are. You were in such a state when you left.
The poachers got to my gran. Someone recognized me in Horntail Hall and they got to her.
What do you mean? Is she all right?
She's fine, thank goodness. But they were at her house, our house. They assumed I'd sent the egg there. She said they took the whole place apart looking for it, screaming that we'd cost them everything.
Vay be.
I'm sorry, Poppy. I'm glad she's all right. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that.
I should have known. I underestimated the poachers. And now another creature's in danger.
What do you mean?
The poachers refused to leave empty-handed, so they took valuable journals that Gran had discovered when she was researching rare creatures. One of them contained theories about a secret hiding place of the Snidget, long thought to be extinct.
Ha, soyu tükenen.
Exactly what kind of creature is a Snidget?
It's a small bird with golden feathers. It's
Altın
incredible.
tüyleri olan
It has
küçük bir
rotational
kuş.
wings that allow it to dart quickly in any direction. In fact, the golden snitch in Quidditch is based on the Snidget, which barbarically was actually used in the sport hundreds of years ago.
I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets.
Gran wants me to stay out of it, but I know she's devastated that poachers might go after the Snidgets, if they still exist. We had the element of surprise on our side when we saved that dragon, but the poachers will be watching for us now.
We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us, who value creatures as much
Merlin's beard! You're a genius! The centaurs!
Merlin'in
They'd
sakalı.
want the Snidgets protected at all costs.
Sounds as if we need to go and talk to the centaurs.
We'll need to be careful in how we approach them. Tensions with them are high. Still, I think they may be our only hope.
Bence de.
Let me think on it. I'll let you know as soon as I have a plan.
Revelio.
Okey, bu da tamam.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to have a space of my own. Sharing a dormitory all year.
Hello, Samantha. Are you here for someone as court?
I am. I'm actually rather good at it. Used to play all the time with my brother until...
Hadi oyun zamanı.
Never mind. Shall we begin?
Yes, I'm ready to play.
Then let's get summoning. Accio! Yes!
Hadi.
Accio.
Beraber.
How am I to top that? Accio!
Orada kaldı. İzle şimdi. Çok hızlı.
You'll have to do better than that.
Çok.
Accio!
Yapamadım.
What was I thinking?
Accio.
Vay.
That was sensational. That settles it, then.
Yes. İşte bu.
After your poor show against Natty in class, I thought I could beat you. Appears I overestimated myself.
İyi oynadın.
Don't say that, Samantha. You're a fine player.
Well, that's very kind of you. Let's just say if I'm good, then you're better. I happen to know who you're up against next, and she's no shy opponent. Best of luck.
Eyvallah. Yani 34 seviye biz zor oluruz ya. Görevlerin hepsini yaptıracak bana oyun. Yaparız. Zehirli intikam. Bu nerede? Dünya haritası. Hogsmeade'de mi? Aynen. Hogsmeade'de 2 tane daha mevzu var. Onları yaparız. Hadi bakalım. Bol bol görev. Tam gaz devam.
Revelio.
Any luck retrieving a certain friend of mine from a former friend of mine?
Hello, Mr. Barnes. I have that venomous tentacular.
Evet.
Wish I could see Lawley's face when he realizes his prized possession is gone. We'll see who's volatile now. Well done. I'll take it off your hands now.
Of course. Glad to hand it over, frankly.
I shall make an ocean of galleons, and Lawley's business will be sunk. Here's a little something for your next trip to Zonko's. Oh, to see the look on Lawley's face the next time he wanders down to his cellar.
Okey. Şu harita üzerinde, pardon. Ben 2 tane daha mevzu vardı. Onu halledelim. Biri şu.
Armadillo file has gone up in price lately. I don't know if you've noticed.
Glad you came.
Hello, Serona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgok?
I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best.
Tabii biz finalden sonra bunları oynadığımızdan dolayı biraz mantık hatası da vardı.
And
Olsun,
I'll
yapacak bir
refrain
şey yok.
from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be, whatever your plans.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favor for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stayed with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Tamam.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
Hemen yapalım şunu.
That relic is the key to saving Anne. I know it. Meet me outside of Feldcrot as soon as you can.
Sebastian yazdı.
Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle? Wonder who lives here.
Aynen, burada da bir mevzu var.
Revelio.
Bard of Beaumont should have returned by now. Had by dark wizards he was.
This looks intriguing.
Ablanın işini yapacağız da şimdi değil, bir dakika. Burada da var. Ha, geldim. Zaten bu mevzu ya. Ben şeyle karıştırdım.
Hadi. I reckon Rookwood's played a hand in his disappearance.
Excuse me. Did you say something about Bardolph Beaumont?
I did. I don't think we've met. I'm Dorothy Sprottle. I was just worrying about Claire Beaumont's brother Bardolph, only he's gone missing. Rumour is he was seen in the forest practicing dark magic. Saw him myself near some ruins with Rookwood's lot I did. I fear he got himself into trouble with the Ashwinders, especially if he made them a promise he couldn't keep. I'd help search for him myself, but no one will risk encountering Ranrock's loyalists. They seem to be everywhere.
I can certainly look out for him.
Any help would be appreciated. You might speak to Claire first. Perhaps she has some insights that I don't. I can tell you that Bardolph was last seen in the forest wearing a particular woolen jumper, one that Claire knitted herself. Claire will be at her shop if you'd like to speak with her.
Revelio.
We should speak with Mr. Bickle's friends. I believe I can sneak away without drawing my mother's eye. Meet me near Hogsmeade, and we will devise a plan.
Past the river near the forest. I must be on the right track.
Yasak orman. Yasak orman. Ne olduğunu keşfedelim.
Revelio.
Bence de keşfedelim.
Accio. Imperial. Crucial. Confringo. Accio. Revelio.
Yakarım.
Who lived here?
Şunu hemen halledelim.
Accio. Imperial. Confringo. Accio. Allah Allah. Protego. Confringo. Crucial. Imperial. Jumper. I'm not sure Madame Beaumont would want to know what really happened to him.
Tamam. Aa, şunun güzelliğine bak.
Revelio.
Tamam, geri bildirimde bulunacağız. O zaman tamam. Geri bildirim, geri bildirim. İç. Susadı. Karakter susadı. Bayağı susadı.
Ah, Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle?
Oh, I do hope my brother is all right.
Madame Beaumont, I believe I have some news of your brother.
Var.
Adolf? What do you know of my brother?
Gerçeği.
I regret to say that Bardolph had been turned into an Inferius, and I had to kill him.
What? But how could you possibly think that an Inferius was my brother Bardolph? That's absurd.
He was wearing a woolen jumper, hand-knitted.
No, this can't be.
Zor. Benim için de zor. No.
I'm truly sorry. I wish it had been better news. I wish you well, Madame Beaumont.
Valla şomazlılık yaptık, gerçeği söyledik ama.
Oh, Bardolph.
Kardeşim bekçisi.
Dear brother.
Revelio.
Bunun başka ne mevzusu var?
I couldn't help but overhear. Did you mention Ranrock's loyalists?
I did. My apologies. I've not been myself since we last met. Ranrock and his followers have set up camp here. No regard for our beloved hamlet or our livelihoods. Ruthless. It's Ranrock I have to thank for losing Bardolph. If only I could somehow rid our hamlet of these monsters. I'm simply at my wit's end.
You said Ranrock's loyalists have set up camp
Kampları
here.
nerede?
Where,
Bana onu söyle.
precisely?
To the south, across the river. Last I heard, there were several loyalists in each camp. I won't go near them.
I'm unfortunately quite familiar with Ranrock's loyalists. Perhaps I can do something.
Vay.
Much as I would love to be rid of them, I wouldn't want you to
Öğrencilikten
risk
bildiğin
injury
şey
or
kahramanlığa
worse.
ya.
Please
Ben
be
halledebilirim
cautious.
diyor.
We should not have to live in fear.
Breaking camp.
This is our home.
İyi bakın.
It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard. Revelio.
Kampları temizleyelim, hadi bakalım.
Such
Yani
arrogance.
kamplar da bayağı yakınmış.
How long for a bacon and mushroom stew? Such arrogance. Oh, this shouldn't take long.
Confringo.
Rather unwise coming back this way.
Protego. Stupid. Crucio. Confringo.
There you are.
Stupid. Accio. Stupid.
I won't rest till you're dead.
Crucio. Imperial. Confringo. Crucial. Revelio. One camp down, one more to go. Confringo. Revelio.
Bir tane daha kaldı. Tamam, onu da halledelim.
Such arrogance. Reminds me of the time I nearly fell out of a car.
Hay hay hay hay hay. Böyle devam edelim.
Why is a grapple? Over.
That's the student who released
Accio. Crucial.
It is. This will not.
Accio. Stupid. Stupid. Crucial. Superfast.
Stop it! How nice of you to stop by. Someone's here.
Hadi senin bak.
How nice of you to stop by.
Confringo.
Should know better. Why to burn this out longer than
Stupid.
I won't rest.
Accio.
Get accustomed to that.
Confringo.
Güzel.
Revelio. Both camps cleared. Madam Beaumont will be glad to hear that.
Temizledik vallahi. 10 numara oldu. Biz bu işi biliyor muyuz? Hogwarts'ın yaramaz öğrencisi. Gabi.
Ah, Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle?
Your generosity helped me afford this rather exotic name.
I do miss the bustle of business.
Hello, Madam Beaumont. Good news. I was able to clear out
İyi
Ranrock's
haberlerim
camps.
var.
You cleared them out? How?
Zor.
It was harrowing, and they dug in their heels, but I managed.
Oh, I wish my brother could have done what you did. Perhaps he'd still be with me now. I'm especially grateful. You did, for Bardolph, what I could not. You saved our hamlet, my young friend. This will not be forgotten. I fear for other hamlets.
Bu unutulmayacak.
Ranrock and his lot are unlike any goblins I've ever seen.
I should be going now. Thank you.
Thank you. Sincerely.
Harita. Harita. Buradayız. Şimdi şöyle yapalım. Yeni görevler geldi. Onları halledelim. Umudun gölgesinde. Mesela Sebastian anne aynen. Ya bunlarla buluşalım. Şunu halledelim. Okey. Yine buraya geleceğim. Her zamanki gibi. Şuradayız. Hadi bakalım. Halledelim. Let's go. Evet. Bugün Hogwarts günü.
Revelio.
Bunlar da kim ya? Ha, okey.
Sebastian, a lost relic from a catacomb which requires a dark sacrifice.
I know how it sounds, but if this can help you, it's worth the risk.
Does Ominous know about this?
He helped find the scriptorium where we discovered Slytherin's spellbook.
Very well. If Ominous will be there, I'll meet you. We don't have much time. Solomon wants to leave Feldcroft.
What? Leave? Never mind. You need to stall him. Buy us time, Anne. Please.
I shall do my best. I'll be in touch.
Solomon can't take Anne from Feldcroft. Where would they go? When would I see her?
Sebastian.
I can't believe my uncle wants to leave Feldcroft. Anne's going to stall him. She must. We need time.
Time? For what?
I've learned more about the relic. I cross-referenced Slytherin's spellbook with everything in the library on relics and dark sacrifices. That's when I realized something. I believe the relic will only work inside the catacomb.
So we have to get Anne to the catacomb and then conduct a sacrifice? Seems risky.
It'll be worth the risk. Our biggest hurdle may be convincing Ominous. Anne will only give this a chance if he's on board.
And we have to keep all of this from your uncle. If he goes to the headmaster, we could be expelled.
Let me handle Ominous this time.
Atılabilir.
As for my uncle, he's not an Auror anymore. What he doesn't know, well, won't hurt us.
Good luck with Ominous. Until we meet again.
I shall let you know when the four of us should meet at the catacomb. Look for my owl.
Okay.
See you soon.
Umudun gölgesinde.
Revelio.
Hogwarts'a gidiyoruz şimdi. Yok. Neresi? Hogsmeade. Sınır gökyüzüdür. Onu da yaparız. Ne var ne yok süpürttü oyun bana. Mezuniyet törenini görmem lazım. Yapıyoruz işte. Bekleyelim.
Anne's worried. She said Sebastian promised her that I would be there if she went to meet him in the catacomb. But now he's asking her to join him immediately and to come alone. She says he doesn't sound himself. Meet us at the catacomb as soon as you can. I hope that my quill has conveyed my message clearly.
Yeraltı mezarında buluşacağız, tamam. Ona da gideriz. Hepsine gideriz.
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
we must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them.
Gabi'ye güvenin.
Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
İçin bir temel.
Revelio.
Hadi bakalım. Arkadaşlarıyla bir konuşalım.
Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up. Until I came home one night and found my husband gone and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Tehlikeye atmayalım. Bayan Rabe, bankacılık ihtiyaçlarımızda bize yardımcı olmayı yeniden düşüneceğini umuyoruz. Kendi başınıza bir karara varmanız için size yeterince zaman verdik. Ancak sabrımızı kaydetmeye... Tamamdır. Eğer ne demek istediğimi anlıyorsanız bunun aramızda kalması en iyisi. Okay.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends. Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
Please tell me you didn't take it. But perhaps it's been here all along.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir. I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right. But we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man. But even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no certain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it out for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Hadi bir tane daha kaldı.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends. Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again, but do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty. It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there.
Allah Allah.
But he must be around here somewhere.
pardon.
Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken. Revelio!
Aynen. Başı belada.
Nosy little students get what's coming to them.
Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quick.
Bulduk.
The footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward. Accio! A hidden door. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly.
Nothing even worse.
Kim var burada?
Revelio! I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
It's not gonna work. Using that girl. Coming for her. We ought to just kill her.
Revelio!
Student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone.
Confringo!
Brockborough.
Bir dakika. Net'i bul. İsteğe bul. Agabus'un şiir kitabını bulun. Otto'nun aşk mektubu. Bir dakika. Otto'nun aşk mektubu.
If you listened to me, you wouldn't need to concern yourself with such matters.
Vallahi burada kalıyorum ya. Gelecek bölümde görüşmek üzere. Hadi bakalım.